Now I put the camera on to get a bit of footage, and as I do I get stuck behind slow moving cars all of a sudden. Sod's law. It's the 400 Imperiale, or Imperiale if you're Italian. This Italian design, Chinese made, same as the 502C. Don't have the specs to hand, to be honest, but I will try and put them up on the screen shortly. It's basically a 400-ish cc single. I believe it's a 5-speed box, obviously classic retro styling. Very interesting. Yeah, liking the look of this. I was going to do this one tomorrow when I dropped down the BM for its MOT, but not sure if the weather's going to be so nice tomorrow, so we thought, well, we'll get it out today. This will be an interesting one. I quite like the look of this. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like compared to the Himalayan, because they're on a similar size, engine size and performance. So we'll take you along for a ride and we'll see how we get on. Catch you in a wee bit. Toodles! It's quite quaint, this thing. Oop, I'll get my mirrors right. Classic style 400 single. I do like the clocks. Analog style clocks. With a few digital bits and bobs in, like this, obviously your trip meters, etc. Gear indicator, fuel gauge. Come on, lovely, put your foot down, we might all get through. Well done. And it rides rather nicely. Bars are quite narrow. Yeah. Quite a firm ride, in all fairness. So far, but then it's brand new. It's done 13.8 miles. So we won't be hammering this one. It is very much a classic style. What you'd expect from a classic looking bike. We'll do a walk around afterwards. Simple switch gear. I mean, it's got ABS by the looks of it. There is no rider modes, cruise control or any of that stuff. It's very, very basic. There is a span adjuster on the brake. Front brake is much like my Himalayan. It's quite a hard squeeze on the lever to get it to work, but it does work. It's kind of wooden, if you like. But again, it's brand new. Give it a chance to bed in. Clutch lever doesn't appear to have any adjustment at all. Mirrors, nice, work well, and they suit the bike. Riding position, very upright, quite compact. I quite like this. I do like my little runabout type bikes, the retro bikes like the Enfield Classics 350. I think it's a lovely looking bike. This one's very much similar styling. If that's what you want, a classic style bike without the oil leaks, without the breakdowns, and something that'll start. No offence to classic bikes. If you want modern reliability but old-fashioned styling, these are nice. This one, the Enfield, obviously the Triumphs, etc. What's it like in town? Well, it's actually very good in town. Back brake it's okay. Don't forget it's new, hasn't bedded in. Front brake is fine, works really well. Takes a bit of a squeeze, but it works. Now we're currently in Penarth, which is an extremely busy place with lots of pedestrian crossings. So plenty of opportunity for slow riding. I hope the camera's picking up the sound of that exhaust. This sounds beautiful. Obviously it's A2 compliant. Oh, we get a little pop and a bang, pop and a fart. It's nice. I know, childish as it is, it's popping and farting. I love that of a bike, especially something like this, a sort of classic style bike. It adds to the character, and it's got a switchblade key, which I think is fantastic. I just love them. I'm such a big kid, I don't care. There we are, Penarth Seafront. What a lovely place. Ideal for turning along on this thing. Yeah, it is a bike you can ride seasides, cafes, A and B roads. I don't think I'd be wanting to hammering up and down the motorway on it at all. Now this hill is quite steep. We're in third gear, 30 miles an hour, 3000 RPM. All the threes. Pulling lovely. No issues at all. Pulling like a train. I like that. Okay. I'm going to make my way to my usual spot to do a walk around, so we'll be back in a wee bit. Toodles! Benelli 400 Imperiale. Really nice bike to ride. Really nice. Haven't really had a chance to ride it properly. Just checking, yeah, we are filming. Haven't had a chance to ride it properly because the traffic was horrendous. Hey ho, there we go. No dramas. Yeah, what have we got? 400 single. I'll put the specs up at some point. 5-speed gearbox. Disc brakes front and rear. Good front brake. This here's a twin pot caliper. Works well. A little bit wooden, but it's new, so we'll account for that. Rear's a single pot caliper. Front suspension, right way up forks, no adjustment. Which actually looks quite good on these. And on the rear, we have normal springs with preload adjuster. I'm not sure what this remote reservoir is for, whether it's just for show or not. But it's quite a stiff suspension in all fairness, considering it's set on its lowest setting by the looks of it. Interesting. Anyway, for some strange reason they put all this metal bracketry on. I don't know why, unless it's for the Indian market, so people don't get their skirt caught in the back wheel. I have heard of that before. Yeah, good old classic styling. You know, you got the sprung single seat. Not much springing in it. Might just be for show, but it looks good. Seat pad on the back, which I suppose you could take off if you want to. Normal lights, no LEDs on this one. But being a classic, I quite like that. You got a centre stand, which is always a bonus. I love a bike with a centre stand, much easier for maintenance. Yeah, very nice. Tank pads, old-fashioned style. As I said earlier, simple switchgear, indicators, horn, high and low beam, pass light, engine kill switch, hazard starter. What more do you want? Adjustable brake lever, not an adjustable clutch lever. The pretty cool and funky switchblade key, which I just love that. On your dashboard, down here we have mileage, clock. I'm assuming these buttons adjust it. Yep. Different trip meters. In the centre you have your gear indicator, fuel gauge. No temperature gauge? No, it's oil, air cooled, so no temperature gauge. Now your speedo, which I find a bit funky, the black bit on the inner side is your miles per hour, the outer edge is kilometres per hour. Not too keen on that idea, being as we're in Britain, but there we go. Rev counter, all your collection of usual idiot lights. Nothing that you don't need, lots that you do. Very simple design, very nice. I like it. It's basic, it's simple. As they say, go stops, turns corners. What a lovely, ideal, classic looking bike. Let me just try the centre stand, see how easy it is. Oh, that was easy. A lot easier than I expected. Literally just pressed my foot on the centre stand and the thing flew up. So even if you're not very big built, or not very strong, you can get this on the centre stand without any issues at all. Rear tyre is a 130/80/18. The front tyre is a 119/19, so pretty common tyre size around the world, so easy enough to find, especially if you're travelling. Again, a nice simple motor. You could probably service it yourself as long as you keep within the guides of your warranty, etc. Guessing standard 2-year warranty. Normal headlight indicators. What more do you want? Really nice bike. I love the spoked wheels. The whole design of it is very classic, very simple, very basic. Yeah, I like that. That exhaust sounds awesome. It pops and bangs like a good one when you shut the throttle. It's a nice little burble off the exhaust. It sounds better than it really is, I suppose is the best way I can put it. It really does sound awesome when you hear that burble. That's me being childish. Hey, we're all big kids at heart. So there we go, folks. The Benelli 400 Imperiale. My rubbish Italian accent. Italian designed, Chinese built, like the 502C I reviewed earlier. But the build quality seems fine. You know, I can't see anything wrong with it. It's an alternative to the 350 Classic. Haven't ridden the 350 Classic yet, so I can't really say which one I'd go for. The classic question, would I own one? Yes, I would. I would have one of these as another one to add to the collection, as it were. I'd have it as a weekend toy. You know, sunny Sunday, take a trundle down to the cafe or down to the beach, get an ice cream, something like that. Maybe take my grandsons out on it. Perfect. Wouldn't say I'd use it every day for commuting. You can, don't get me wrong, you can use it for commuting, not where I go. Wouldn't suit my purposes. Lovely looking bike. Yeah, nice bike. Easy to ride, not heavy at all. Oh, popped off the centre stand without any effort at all there. And it's quite light to manoeuvre around. Suitable for anybody. Okay, we have sunshine, we have nice weather. Let's get back to riding. See you in a minute. I have said it many times, I'll say it again. Mr. Crumps does work for M&P, the company, M&P Motorcycles. But I do not get sponsored, paid, or otherwise rewarded for these reviews. The agreement is that I take out pretty much any bike I want, as long as it's on demo, and I ride it around, I film it, and I give my opinions of what I think of that particular bike. Now obviously that is my opinions and how I find it on what is effectively a test ride. Same as you would get if you went in the shop. For all the views or comments about what I think of the bike and is it any good, what are the brakes like, blah blah blah. These are my opinions, what I think from what I find from riding the bike. You may think otherwise. You might ride the bike and think that Grumps is talking through his backside. But that's fine. We all have different opinions, different views. This is just my view of what I think of the particular bikes I ride. So that's just there for full disclosure, just so you know where we stand, sort of thing. So yeah, it's a really nice bike, this. Good fun to... Oh, bugging me helmet. It's good fun to ride. It's not quick by any means, but it's not meant to be. It's comfortable. The suspension will soften up in time with use. They always do. The brakes will bed in, etc. Like I said, it's only done it, well, what are we on, 22 miles now. It's done sod all mileage, so it's not even running. But yeah, it's comfy, it handles quite well, it's a classic style, it sounds absolutely brilliant to me. I love the sound of it, I think it's great. It looks nice, it looks right. You know, the old-fashioned analog dials, I love it. You've got the digital bits in between for the fuel gauge, etc., the modern side of it. I like that. Overall, cracking bike, really like it, really enjoy it. And I say, yes, I would own one if I could have it as a spare bike. I can't warrant having a third bike at the moment. I certainly can't afford one. But yeah, I would own one of these. If you want a nice little classic style runabout, something to go for a little bumble round on the weekends. Now this, folks, is what I would say this bike's more useful for. These kind of back lanes. Often bring my Himalayan around roads like this because I just love riding them, they're great fun. Very scenic, you're not going quick. Got to keep your wits about your mind. This is the kind of road I'd like to ride a bike like this on. Because I wouldn't want to take this on a bypass, dual carriageway motorway, unless I absolutely have to. I'd be quite happy bumbling around these sort of lanes. I tell you what, I've done it a few times, you know, a sunny afternoon, out on the bike for a couple of hours, trundling through these lanes. It's a fantastic way to relieve stress and just have a nice enjoyable day out. No rush to go anywhere. Bumble along, look at the scenery, enjoy the ride. That's what it's all about.